Hi y'all, I'm back. I'm about to do another book review. I have my headset on today because my sons are playing video games and listening to music and having a good time with one another because my oldest son is home with us for the weekend. He's spending the weekend with us before he embarks on his new career journey. He has joined the military and we couldn't be more happier for him. And so I wanted to give them a moment to have a few hours to spend with one another without me, in there. And I decided to come in my room and give you guys a book review. So last night, and if you hear any extra noises, forgive me. I don't have a professional camera and I don't edit my videos, so you're going to get what you get. And even when I get a professional setup, I probably won't edit too much because I think that kind of takes away from, the rawness of the discussion, get the real deal. So anyway, last night my middle son, he was cleaning out his closet and he was like, "Mom, these are some of your books." And I was like, "No, I don't think those are my books," because the container had his name on it. And he said, "No, these are your books." So I'm like, I have a huge container of books. So I'm like, where did this little one come from? And so when I opened it, they were my books. He was like, "I told you, I knew it was girl books." I'm like, "Child." So I'm looking, and these were actually books that I used to have in my salon space that I would allow um, clients and people to read when they were there, or they could borrow and bring them back. So actually, there were about 6 books in there that I know I didn't purchase. And I believe I know exactly who left these books because she's the last person I can think of that I traded some books with. And I believe she left these books, and this is actually a book that she bought. Now, I did not know that I had this book in there. I purchased the same book electronically. Actually, I purchased the entire series electronically. So when I was going through the books last night, I screamed out. I was like, "Ah, I own a copy of it," which I'm thankful. So thank you, girl. Thank you so much. I had just was saying that I want to purchase the Hightower series on paperback because, as you know, if you paid attention to my previous videos, I've been buying paperbacks of books that I own electronically so that I can always have them because our books are disappearing. I just found out that when you purchase a electronic download, you don't technically own it to have, forever. So I want to make sure that I have it because I am a person who likes to reread my books again. My husband doesn't understand that. He's like, "If you read it already, why don't you get rid of it?" Because it's my books and I want it, and I'm going to keep them. So, yeah, I'm thankful that I do have the first one in the High Tower series, and it also includes, I think, 2 books that are friends of the High Tower as a part of the series. But now I just have to get the rest in paperback. But this review is going to be a little bit different, and maybe to some of you may feel like I always give too much away. Some of you may feel like I don't give enough away, but I know that this review is giving away a lot because I don't really know how to give this review without giving away a lot. And then some of you may feel like the purpose of a review is to give away. But if you are a person that doesn't like spoilers, detailed spoilers, then I'm going to turn this over and you can read the synopsis, and you can stop right there if you like what you're reading in the synopsis, and pause it and get the book and read it and come back and watch my review and we can discuss it. I'd appreciate that. I actually advise you to do that if you don't like to have, hear spoilers. You want to be surprised and so forth. So again, I'm sorry if I'm giving away too much, and I make mistakes. So if I stumble over my words, if I repeat myself repeatedly, just forgive me. I'm human. I make mistakes. And like I said, it's not edited. You're going to get it raw like it is. So I hope you can see that. Just screenshot it and read it. And, if you want to read it without any spoilers, then stop right there and come back and join us. So I purchased it electronically, which I've already said many times. I have, I think, four of those books on my Nook. Yeah, four. One, two, three. Yeah, four. These two are part of or another author's books. I don't know why I pinned them there. But this is the book here, Protect and Serve, which is the same, like I told you, as this one. So I read it on my Nook. Not this Nook, but I used to have a Nook, but this is just the Nook app on here. But anyway, the story is about, and I'm going to put a disclaimer that the review actually starts almost 6 minutes in. The story is about a woman named Penny Keys and a man named Jason Hightower. Now, Jason and Penny, and they have a friend named Terrell. They grew up together. They were like three peas in a pod. I know it's two, but they were like three. I think they actually called themselves like the Three Musketeers. And they grew up together. And Jason came from a well-to-do family. You know, he lived in a completely different neighborhood from Penny and Terrell. They grew up in a different type of neighborhood, a little bit more rougher in New Jersey. They're all supposed to be from New Jersey. As they got older, Penny and Jason got involved in a romantic relationship. And she got pregnant. Penny had the baby. She was pregnant. She decided to work. Her and Jason both decided that they would work their butts off because they were preparing for a baby. And Penny ends up having a miscarriage. While at the hospital, Jason, I think he didn't get to the hospital right away, and she was a little bit upset about that. And his aunt was a nurse at the time. I believe she was retired then, or maybe not, and she would volunteer. But his aunt said some things to her, and she always would. His aunt is very nasty. And although his mother and his father, they loved Penny, the aunt didn't. And the aunt, she's pushy and bossy and a nasty woman, a bitter woman. And so Penny was upset with Jason over she felt like he wasn't there for her. And so she led him to believe something that she shouldn't have. And so that destroyed their relationship and they went their separate ways. In addition to the relationship they had Jason had with his friend Terrell. So Penny leaves and goes to college. You know, she ends up leaving New Jersey and going to California. And while in California, she met a friend of hers. She met her best female friend. I think her name is Marissa. I think Marissa Morales, if I'm saying that right, if I'm remembering the right name. I read so many of these books that are similar. I get names mixed up. But anyway, they decide to start a business. They actually met because Penny became a popular video girl, her and Marissa. And they started I think it's an image consultant firm. Maybe I'm wrong about the type of business, but they started a business together that has been flourishing and doing great. And Terrell as well. Terrell, he's doing great in his business. He's making good money. And Jason is a cold case detective in New Jersey. His family is filled with law enforcement officers and firefighters. His dad is a firefighter, retired. His older brother is a firefighter, current. And another one of his firefighters, brothers is a firefighter, Joel. They all have their stories. You will love them. His other brother is a narcotics detective. So he comes from a family full of, law enforcement officers. And what the story opens up at Penny's grandmother's wake. Her grandmother has recently passed, and Penny hasn't been home in 15 years. So although she would send money and she would see about her grandmother, she just hasn't been back. She can't bear it. Penny is a product of a teen mom, her mother, Carla, and Carla is a mess. She's hilarious. She's a recovering addict. You will love Carla though. Carla, it will have you laughing. I mean, she reminds me of a mixture between Jennifer Lewis. I love Jennifer Lewis and Frankie, Keisha Cole's mom. At least to me. If any of y'all felt that way, felt like that she reminded you of those two people, please, drop a comment, let me know. But she's hilarious. But her and Penny, they never had a mother-daughter relationship. Penny's grandmother was more like mom, and Penny's mom was more like a big sister that you kind of don't like. And Penny's mom treated Penny like she was the bratty little sister. And in fact, she calls her brat. Penny's dad has been in jail pretty much her whole life. And the book opens up with her grandmother's wake. And her grandmother left everything to her because you can't leave anything to an addict. They're not going to do right by it. So Penny's mom has concerns that she wants Penny to take her back with her because she's running from something. She's running from someone. And like I said, Jason is a cold case detective, and he's working this case, which ends up being related to a situation involving Penny's biological dad, Gerald. Now, Gerald was framed for a murder he did not commit. Now, he was for the streets, as these kids say, but he did not commit those murders. And he's changed his life. He's staying in a halfway house. He's out. He comes back looking for Carla. And Carla's youth, she was supposed to be bad, honey. Like pretty, beautiful, pretty hair, just everything. And I know a lot of people don't like the term pretty hair because, but this is how she was described. And she was supposed to be bad, honey, like a brick house, I believe. But now that she's an addict and she's been through it, she doesn't look so hot. But Gerald still sees that beautiful young girl that he fell in love with, So he's not giving up so easily. So you do get a bit of their story, and you get a bit of their progression, and I think it's cute. So anyway, Penny's mom, Carla, is kind of nagging her. She wants her to take her back to California because Penny is only planning on being there for, I think she calls her Big Mama. She's only planning on being there for her funeral, and she wants to settle her affairs with her house and pack her things up or whatever, and she wants to head back to California. She doesn't plan on staying, And Jason and his family, they come to the wake because everybody knew her grandmother. So all his brothers, his mom, his dad, they all went to church together as well. They come and they show their respects, and, they give their condolences to Penny. And Jason, he wants answers. He wants to know what happened, why she leave like that. She hasn't talked to him in 15 years. He would go and check up on her grandmother, because he's been back in New Jersey. And so when he would go to see her grandmother, they wouldn't talk about Penny. He was just there for her grandmother. He genuinely cared. So he wants answers as to why he feels Penny betrayed him, which if you read the story, you'll see why. I won't give that bit away, but you probably can figure it out. He wants to know why she betrayed him, and she won't tell him. And he's hurt. He's hurt about it, and rightfully so. But it's to the point where he's harassing her, like stalking her, like, which is how she feels. So Carla has a situation where she has this guy who was like her pusher, this guy that she was seeing when Penny was little, and he would do things. He was kind of abusive. Well, he was abusive. And he has been threatening Penny's life, and Carla in a sense as well. So Carla wants out, she wants Penny to take her back to California with her, like I said. And Penny's like, no, like Penny's like, I'm sick of dealing with you, Carla. She's tried giving her so many chances, and Carla's Carla. So she doesn't believe that she's changing, trying to change this and that, and da-da-da. And so Carla and Penny spend the duration of the book like with this back and forth. And Jason and Penny they kind of take a trip down memory lane in a sense because he comes over to the house once. He comes over because they have to end up there's an incident where they have to call the police, and he just so happens to be in the area, and he hears the call. So he comes, to their rescue, and um he's there for Penny during this time because she hasn't grieved yet. And so they take a trip down memory lane, and Gwyneth Bolton does a great job of incorporating the music of that time into her story, and as well as the music of the time from when they were supposed to have been teens. And that is going to have you jamming, y'all. Like, y'all going to be like, hey. So that I loved about the book. You will love the Hightower brothers, just the bond that they have. It's to me that is beautiful. That is a beautiful thing, a bond of brothers or even sisters. But this, you will love it. So I'm gonna kind of stop it right there because I have already given away a bit too much. But get you a copy of this, whether it be electronically or paperback or hard copy if they have them. The electronic copies are still available. I've seen on Amazon for $3.99. I believe they are still available on Nook as well. So get you a copy of it. You won't be disappointed. And it is a part of a series. So once you read one, it's like those potato chips. You can't just have one. You're going to want another. And she does a great job of refreshing you on characters in a previous book in the next book, but not overly so, because there are some authors who they overdo it. To me, they do, but she doesn't tarry too long on it. You get a refresher and you get some new things. And the Hightower brothers are sexy. I mean, come on, and Jason is the baby. He's the baby of his brothers. And I really enjoyed his story. I enjoyed all of the stories, but this story and Lawrence are my favorite, especially Lawrence's story. I do like the others, don't get me wrong, but this one is the first one, so it's always like that. That first one is like always the bomb. And I loved Lawrence's story. So please, I know I've already spoken too long on this. Check it out, Gwyneth Bolton, Protect and Serve, and it is a part of the Hightower series. So again, read, read, read. It takes you places. And be safe until next time. Sorry if I stumbled over my words and repeated myself. I'm pretty new at this, but I'm not going to stop. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Happy reading.